Welcome to another episode of The Real Culture. It's your main man, A.D. Green, and I'm here with my co-hosts, John Allen, Vic, Wayne Maestro, Lauren Nicole, and we in here, man, we come to bring that fire, man, the real culture. Now let's just get into it right now, man. It's a whole lot going on in this world, so we finna just go and just have a round table discussion. What's up, John, man? Talk to us.
Man, let's get into it. One night in Miami. You checked it out?
Yep, I did.
What'd you think about it?
It was pretty good.
Who was your favorite character, Lord Nicole?
Muhammad Ali.
Okay, the greatest.
Yes, fighter.
Okay. Why
Very
you like
strong
him?
character. You know, seemed like he was kind of by himself a little bit, but pretty strong. I give
Okay.
him that.
What about you,
Ask me that
AD?
question.
Who was your favorite?
No, I'm Malcolm X, man. You know, I'm Detroit Red. You know, Malcolm X, man. First of all, I got to applaud Regina King for her artistry work. You know, for her, she paved the way as far as like everything that she went through is in her actress career. She's a stand-up actress, man, and for her to get an opportunity, she's a Oscar nominee and winner. So, man, for Regina King to produce that movie and bring those characters in and make it all work like that, man, that was a beautiful thing.
Oh, yeah.
So, yeah, it was a
Black
beautiful
Girl
movie.
Magic.
So, yeah, Malcolm X, he did his thing on that, man. What you think, man, Malcolm X?
I'm always go with Malcolm X because, I mean, he was the orchestrator. He was a thinker, and, you know, he was the least talented guy in the group, in the room, but at the same time, he was the most talented.
So what I want to
Definitely,
ask you guys is,
Malcolm
you
X.
could clearly see how strong Malcolm X was in the movie, but I like to see the way that Jim Brown was kind of like the only person who could really talk to Malcolm and give him wisdom. I thought that was pretty dope for him to be, you know, always like kind of like training them, but when he got too far out the reins, Jim Brown was a good friend.
Yeah,
So
stopped
I
it.
want to you know, get your insight on that.
Well, Jim Brown it really was different because, you know, if you know Malcolm background, you know, he grew up, you know, his mother was white, his daddy was black, obviously his father was killed by the KKK. And Jim Brown, you know, he never experienced it. I ain't gonna say never experienced, but he experienced it later on because I know you recall a situation in the group where he was talking to the, I'll just say, brother from another color. And, you know, I basically told the man that, you know, he thought he was a good guy. So at the end, you know, Jim Brown came and wanted to reciprocate his, you know, because that's what we do. We try to help people. And he said, you know, there's no niggas allowed in the house. So, you know, it's when you're experiencing something, it gives you a kind of up on the situation. And I think, not saying they didn't, because all of them in that era, everybody experienced some type of racism or whatever. But it just, you know, Jim Brown was more, if you look at all of them and really just think about it, Jim Brown was the most gangster one out of all of them. So it's kind of that gangster gonna always get the attention because I know this here. I might mess with you, but I ain't gonna mess with him. So if he with you, you good. So that's what you see OG call. Because, you know, Jim Brown started in a lot of hood movies, OG movies. You know what I mean?
You know, and another thing that really got my attention is the inside relationships that those brothers had. Because a lot of times, you know, we'll never know that Malcolm X, you got Jim Brown, you got Sam Cooke, and you got Muhammad Ali. All of those, we would have never known that those were good friends in those last moments. You know, so I think that the film sheds a lot of light on what really went inside.
The camaraderie between those forefathers is just amazing. You know, to see them play in the joke, to see them get angry with each other, you know, to see the fisticuffs between brothers, and then to come back together and laugh about it and to drink about it. It was just beautiful to see, like you said, just to see insights of their life, and then to see Malcolm's impact. Because growing up, you know, obviously Malcolm X was dead, but throughout the movie, he's telling these guys, he's training them. I'm training you guys to be weapons tools to push the African American community forward. And they didn't understand it at the time, but he was trying to tell them, and that's why he was on Sam Cooke so strong in the movie. And that's what I got out of the movie. He's telling him, Sam, you're the richest. Sam, you're the singer. A singer can touch everybody.
Yeah.
You have the strongest message. You have the strongest power. And by him being the strongest, he also died first. He was the one that died first out of the four.
And to chime in on that, that part in the movie where they were all in that room together, it was heated, for them to be conversating about one another, and for Malcolm X to state to Sam Cooke, hey, bro, you performing for these white folks, but you need to be, going back to your black community because you letting them down just to perform for, them. And they ain't showing you love like you supposed to be getting it, but you have your black folks you need to be preaching to. So
he was doing so much in music as far as royalties and rights, putting on other artists.
Man, at the time, though, it's all a trend. He had to... Sam, see what it is, man, you got to understand the times that was going on. Black people was searching for a situation, man. We was trying to claw and fight. You see how when the man went to the club, when the first initial reaction, when they seen it was a black dude, they got up and left. It's like now when you look through the eyes and try to see and try to decipher moves, first of all, they wasn't as educated as we are now. And second of all, times are different because you just couldn't walk in and say, oh, I'm Sam Cooke and you're going to get in. Because you got to look at what they did to Sam Cooke when they killed Sam Cooke. All them leaders was basically, a couple of them died naturally, but they was all murdered because they been watching them because in the show you saw J. Edgar Hoover, they been watching all of them because anytime you rise up, black people are considered a threat. So we a hate group, you know what I'm saying? But the KKK is a religious one. But we'll talk about that in another episode. So that's what that is, man.
And like you said, man, it shows Malcolm X's passion. All he wanted for them brothers to go forward and be used in a mighty way, you know what I'm saying? Because if you're not using your gifts and your abilities to uplift and to move, and you also got to understand what was going on in that era, because in that era, man, it was so racist and segregated. So he was showing them how to move forward, how to be a mighty force, how to be a mighty blow. And Muhammad Ali, as him being a young, I'm pretty sure he was real young, but 22.
He was the youngest. Yeah, he was the youngest out of all four.
Very immature at the time, but he understood what was the reason too, because I remember on the part of the movie, Sam was asking him like, you really gonna be part of the Nation of Islam, or you really gonna give up all this? You the champ now? And he was like, yeah, man, it's time to make a stand. So even with with Malcolm X, Muhammad Ali being young like that, man, he understood the mission.
And that was the whole thing. He wanted to put those guys on the path for a mission. And that's what, like he said, Ali, he just passed, I believe in 2016. He continued to live that mission. When they tried to force him to go to war, he was like, no, I'm not going to go to war because them people ain't do nothing to me. And he stood his ground. And that's why we look at him as the greatest champion of all time. Same as Jim Brown. He's still living. He's the last one living. And by his stand, leaving football in his prime, he's still arguably the greatest football player of all time. I would still say he's the greatest, him or Jerry Rice. But other people, they have different comments.
Yeah, very, very much so. Very much so. Jim Brown.
So, yeah.
But sticking to Malcolm X, his contemporary Martin Luther King did have a birthday, and we want to say, rest in peace to Dr. Martin Luther King. But we do want to shed light on Martin Luther King and Malcolm X and their views, and if they would have worked together, if they could have worked together, what could have happened and what their impact would have been.
See, I'm gonna let you know right now, John. A lot of people don't know that Malcolm X and Martin Luther King were working together. They just understood that Malcolm knew his role over here. Malcolm was like, man, that nonviolent stuff, man, that ain't really getting us nowhere. We got to eye for eye, two for two. We got to fight back. That was just his approach. You know what I'm saying? But Martin was like, hey, you can't just knock me, man. What I'm doing, I'm giving them game or whatever to showing them how, hey, it's a better way. If you do that, it's going to be retaliation. So both of them worked together in sync, you know. So both of them had a mission. They knew how to work together. So it made it look like that they wasn't, at the time, was against each other. But behind closed doors, they was really all right.
The press is kind of painted two different pictures for him. What you gotta say, Mr. Vic?
No. Malcolm X talked bad about Martin Luther King.
Thank you.
Because when you understand, and it's no offense to Amerika, and no offense to you good Christians out there, but when you have an understanding of what he led for, and I repeat, he said he's leading our people to slaughter. And that's among other things he said about Dr. King. He had a lot, they were not on the same side. Now, I will say this here. This is what happened because Malcolm X was a genius. Because even in the book, when you seen at the end, he started writing. What was he doing at the end of the movie?
Doing his autobiography.
He was doing his autobiography because he knew it was his time. Because when you know what was going on with him, then you know he knew it was his time. They was getting bolder and bolder in the action he was doing. Plus, the Nation of Islam had turned their back on him. They was not on the same team. But what Malcolm X did was he went to Martin Luther King and he had a talk with him, and he told him that what I'm gonna do is they painted a picture of me that I'm such a bad guy. But I'm going to make me look so bad that they're going to turn to you for an answer. That's what Malcolm X did. And he got killed right after they had that conversation. But the thing about Martin Luther King is, and I'm going to be honest with you because I'm pro Malcolm X, but I understand this too because we all been lost in the struggle. He was just doing the best that he could in the situation he was handled because that's what he felt was the thing to be. But in actuality, a lot of our people got killed in that movement because a movement is never going to save us. That's what Malcolm knew. That's why Malcolm was so against it when he sat back and looked at it when they did the March on Washington. Malcolm X mocked him. That's what I'm saying. Dr. King, but it wasn't like. But I think you seen his vulnerability in the movie. It wasn't that he was trying to be no better than thou. He was just saying that it's other ways to do what we need to do, and the ways that we doing them ain't working.
But when it comes to Martin Luther King, he's such a peaceful person, you know. He stand for peace, you know, no violence. A lot of times it don't take violent habits to get your point across. You can actually speak out and say, hey, you know, this, instead of promoting violence, because at the end of the day, it's going to get even more violent if you're fighting all the time.
I don't think nobody promoted violence. I don't think Malcolm X his whole thing's enemy necessary. That means defending yourself and gaining insight.
Yeah, he was just tired of getting dogs attacked on him and getting beat down. Yeah. And that's understandable by any human being. The thing about Martin, he opened up doors economically for so many other people, just showing the Caucasians that, hey, there's safe black people out here, you know. There's black people out here that want to do business. Now, all of his practices weren't perfect, but he was the one that they're gonna gravitate to. And as far as affirmative action, you're always gonna have to have that one to open up the door. And he was that one to open up the door for a lot of people.
See, King understood the seriousness behind the American dollar. Economically, he understood that, hey, if you boycott and redistribute the hate by not supporting them economically, then we can get answers. And I think Farrakhan and a lot of those right now, the brothers that's in the nation, they to this day still use that tactic. So King struck back like, and I'm Malcolm X too. I'm a Malcolm X fan, but King struck back like that. He knew that if you can hurt them by not supporting they, economically revenue, we gonna stick together.
That's one thing I always admired, and that's something that they showed also in the movie
let me
about
ask this
the
question.
nation.
Okay, since we
And
talking about this
when I'm saying that, I'm talking about the structure and the discipline of the nation. As far as in the movie, you see how Malcolm X, he had armored guard. And then you're talking about their economic freedom. The guy, he was like, man, do you like being in the nation? And he was like, well, it beats being a purse thief or a car thief from Toledo. The opportunities just for being in the nation at that time, like you said, it was a different time then. So it was giving people economic freedom. And I always admired them for that.
Who is he giving economic freedom to? First of all, that's what I'm saying. Do you even know why Dr. King is, excuse my language, why he's even considered a Wayne dinner in most communities? Do you even know why? That's the first question you got to ask yourself. Why? Because his whole movement was funded by white people.
So when you think about it,
ain't no economic freedom when you doing business with the people that you talking about economic freedom against. You in the same boat. That's why in the end, when he got to the I Am a Dream Street, he knew he wasn't gonna reach it because he said it many times. He knew what he done. He made a mistake. He led his people down the wrong road. He knew exactly what it was, man. Ain't no economic freedom because we ain't gonna have no economic freedom because this is America. This is America, and when it's spelled, it's not no C. It's 3 Ks, man. This is America. Ain't gonna be no dominance. Black Tulsa, anytime we get anything going, they stop it. So there'll be no economic freedom.
He should have worked with Malcolm X more.
There was no working with him. How can you work with somebody when first of all your time is limited? How long did Malcolm X do here? How long was he in the ministry?
The thing about it was that
4 years.
all of them knew that they stood for a purpose, and they already knew their time was coming. So they was willing to sacrifice and die. If I got to be the voice, then I'm gonna be that voice. I'm gonna be the one to take that bullet, especially Malcolm X. Malcolm X in his last days, he didn't want to fight no more. He knew that somebody inside crossed him out. He knew what time it was.
Yeah, he knew the feds was watching him.
The thing about it was he was ready to go. He was ready to stand for something instead of falling for nothing. So all of them was really great leaders and was able to make a movement. Because till today, it's still, man, it's just a lot of things that we always gotta fortify their legend as in time, man, because we wouldn't be where we at today alive without those brothers, man. So definitely some good brothers, man.
And that's true. And we need people like that today. I know my man Vic, he's a big Nipsey Hussle fan, and it seems like every time somebody gets close to that mark, as far as being an African American leader, touching a Malcolm X or a Martin Luther King status, they get gunned down.
Taken out.
You know, a la Tupac, you know, going, like I said, Nipsey. So it's like, who's going to be that next figure?
Great question.
You know, who's gonna be that next figure? Do you see anybody who could do something like that?
As far as right now, I don't. I really don't see nobody to take that stand. You know, I feel like a lot of people gotta grow to get to that point and know what we face and what we're looking at and what we're dealing with in life.
I think people are trying, like Cube, he got a lot of flack for people that were like, well, he had a presentation and he was talking to Donald Trump and they was like he shouldn't be dealing with Trump. Well, Ice Cube was really just trying to do something for Black America with whoever the president was gonna be, either Donald Trump or Joe Biden. He's just trying to get something done for Black America.
What you saying? You felt like that was a good move? That what you saying?
At least the man is trying.
I hear you, man. I hear you. Hey, man, come up with a real plan, then tell me you're trying, man. Coming up with some old BS, man, I ain't trying to hear that. That's why his clause got rejected. Because first of all, you saying black people going to the highest bidder, I got a problem with that. That's first of all, if you want to make anything right, give me my 40 acres and my mule, and we can start there. And then we'll go back to the money that I owe for what my people did. That's where we can get this right. Because other than that,
So who should it be? Should it be an actor? Should it be a politician? Should it be, a musician? Should it be somebody like LeBron James? Who do you think will be the next black leader?
It has to be the ones with a lot of power on their platform. It has to be, like he told you in the movie, Sam Cooke, you got a voice. You're able to talk to the world, and if you say the right things, the world will listen to you. It's power when you speak. But it's all about saying the right thing. And me personally, even and I'm an artist, and I had to learn that I need to start putting some things out that'll live a lifetime. I'm able to touch somebody's life. You never know what they're going through, but my lyrics can maybe lift you up and make you go ahead and see. And then Tupac was very great at that. But we're gonna come back after this break, and we're gonna come back and get back to it. This is the real culture. Man.
What they gon' say, calling on ways. What they gon' say, calling on ways. What they gon' say, calling on ways. This ain't even gon' say? What they gon' say? Calling on ways. What they gon' say? Calling on ways. What they gon' say? Calling on ways.
What you know about Sunday? MLK, slab riding all day.
And we're back, ladies and gentlemen. We got AD, my girl Ray, and Vic, and let's get straight into it, man. We know that racism is still prevalent here in America. So I want to talk about the racism, and not only racism, but specifically Emmett Till and the Emmett Till movie, because Jay-Z and Will Smith supposed to be doing the Emmett Till movie, and it keeps getting pushed back. Different companies are dropping it. It went from, I believe, HBO, now it's on ABC, to Rajay and John Singleton. The late, great John Singleton was working on something, and then when he passed, that halted the project, because they were trying to tell it from Emmett's mother's perspective. So now Tarajay's out of the picture, and John Singleton and Jay-Z, and like I said, Will, they have the rights of it, and so does ABC. But I want to get your thoughts on racism and Emmett Till story here, still being told, not being told.
Man, you know, it's been a sad situation, and I mean that it don't take a rocket science to figure that racism gonna forever be present. You know, that situation with Emmett Till, I think they still right now trying to find prosecute the lady years later. Come on, man. Whistling?
Yeah, man.
I whistled at you? Are you serious?
And that's the sign of the times.
And then the mutilation, decapitation. That's what they did to that young man.
14-year-old boy.
And we cannot turn a blind eye to that. That happened. But as far as that movie go, I mean, I really feel, man, that'll be a great opportunity for somebody to step up and do that movie, because that needs to be spoken about.
Similar to the Regina King, you know, how she
Right.
told the story of the one night in Miami. That could be like you said, a great impactful movie for African Americans. So I'm down with you on that.
So it's like, when you think about though, like I say, those times and how things were, and how racist, and well, a black man couldn't even just go nowhere and just get away with, and you.
Cause then the lady, didn't she confess that it wasn't him that whistled? So he actually died for looking at a lady. He wasn't the one that whistled. Somebody else whistled. But the racism and prejudice of black people was so strong that they killed him. Yeah, they just wanted to kill him. Period.
That's all it was. It ain't had nothing to do with none of that. That's what been going on. This ain't no new America. This ain't nothing new, man. This ain't nothing new. I'm pretty sure. What you feel about it? You know what I'm saying? Because I'm pretty sure. Ladies being a black woman and going through that.
Well, they just killed the black lady. They didn't kill Sandra Bland. They just killed Breonna Taylor. Black people still dying. That's what I'm saying.
I already know. I'm trying to see what she got. How she feel about the subject.
But what he asked was about the movie.
Yeah, but it's
and I feel like any type of mainstream movie, article, whatever it is, it's going to be watered down. It's going to be washed down. It's not going to have a true. It's not going to have our true message. It's not going to have the true story. Books, movies, anything like that. And so, what's the real story? What's the true? What really happened to him? What really happened to that woman? Because what I understood, she was on her deathbed.
Mm-hmm. And
now you're saying they're still trying to prosecute, and she already admitted it. So it's obviously nothing's going to happen. She's going to go to her grave on her conscience. She doesn't care about that. She doesn't care. Her family doesn't care. I don't feel like white people care. It's like, how many years ago was that?
And at least 50, 60 years. And the sad part is, me, you know, having a lot of family from Mississippi and seeing these types of crimes and just hearing about them. You know, like I said, nothing necessarily happened to me firsthand as far as being beat, but going to school down there, you're going to live in a racist world, and you're going to see Confederate flags, you're going to see swastikas, you're going to see them living their life, and then you're going to go to Black America and live your life. It's nothing like what we have here. where it's not even accepted. There
How
it's
is
still
justice
accepted.
going to be served? That's my main concern.
It's not
How is
gonna be
justice gonna
served in Mississippi. That's what I'm saying. In Mississippi, that stuff, that type of stuff is cool. It's still a part of their culture. When you drive it down the street and it say, okay, you can only go 25 miles, 35 miles, you're gonna see a swastika on that sign. On the main signs on the highway, is everything looks clean. But if you're going down a back road, they still got swastikas and stuff out there. And it's 2021. I'm just telling you the truth.
Yeah, but it's land of the free. You're supposed to be free.
We're not free.
Shit,
That's the
America-
whole point.
America-
That's what I'm
Free to do
saying.
whatever you want. Free
It's
to
the land of the
believe whatever
free,
you
but
want.
not it's free
Didn't they
for.
just the white people protest the Capitol and most of them free? But if it were black
Yeah, it was
people would have
hundreds of people or
protested, that's what I'm
thousands of
saying.
people, and they've only prosecuted like 14, 15,
Thank you.
or not even charged them. Just,
But if that would have been colored, Negro,
Oh, they would've been
African American,
shooting.
that'd have
They
been
would've been
dead.
shooting.
It'd have been a
Yeah,
massacre
they
in
would've been
D.C.
dead.
Yeah. So, and that's what we're saying. They're like, oh, we got a female president, a woman of color. You know, is that gonna help us? Joe Biden, you supposed to be this super savior. Like, is that really gonna help us? Like, obviously, you're gonna be an improvement from what we had at
I don't
first.
know. You the
because-
one.
This is
I don't
what the
know. You the
problem
one
is.
telling us to vote, so you tell me it's gonna help. What you the vote man? So you tell us what's gonna help. You asking the question, shit. You supposed to already know. Every time I see you got a motherfucking political badge on, so you tell me who to vote for. Because I'm gonna tell you this here. Last time I checked and looked in the mirror, shit, I've been alive 35 years. If y'all say the same, it'll be 36 coming soon. I ain't never seen no president do a goddamn thing for the people of color. So that go your answer right there. And to what you said about us being free, America, the Constitution. Let me see, because you seem like a very enlightened young lady. But just in case you just didn't know, 'cause sometimes they don't really talk about this in school. The Constitution, when they wrote the Constitution, we were considered property. So therefore, the Constitution did not. It didn't apply to us. Because we were considered property. So the people that are free are them same people that storm the Capitol because it's their right to protest. And apparently
this
it don't have to be
system is
peaceful.
not made for us. This system is not built for us. We weren't even included when the rules were regulated, when the thoughts were thought of. We were still property. We were still nothing. So how can you fight in a system? How can I, as a woman, go play in the NBA when they have the WNBA? That's made for me, right? So am I going to go to the NBA and try to say, well, you need to do this for me? There's something specific for me. What's specific for us? That those rules, that Constitution is not specific for us. There's ratification, or however you say it, that included us at a later time. It's not made for us. We're fighting in a system that was not made for us.
And that's why I always say, man, if you want change to happen, man, you got to change the system from within. You know, it starts, like I say, man, we have to, there have to be some more people of color that, I'm saying, like, some more judges than black, lawyers, you know what I'm saying?
But let me tell you something, they're all on the same
Supreme
board.
Court.
They're all on the same board. They're
Exactly.
all
Gotta get some of
pledging
that.
to the same allegiance.
Talk to them, sister.
So it
Talk
doesn't
to 'em.
matter if you're going within. It doesn't matter if you're the judge. It doesn't matter if you're the attorney. It doesn't matter if you are the prosecutors. They're all on the
And-
same
and-
board.
and-
How
They're
do we
all on the
change?
same
But how do we
team.
change the laws?
and going into
You got
that,
to do exactly what them white people did.
Exactly.
we got to work together.
And riot and storm.
Yeah,
Exactly.
You can't. It's bittersweet. How are you going to come inside and try to infiltrate? You can't infiltrate. Like I told you, the system is not made for us. Kamala's a tool. Obama's a tool.
Man,
Biden's a
talk to
tool.
me.
Trump is a tool. This is just a face. They're all tools.
Yeah.
They don't control anything. They're tools. They're puppets. They're being told what to do.
About to hire
Who
us.
told Biden to sign those executive orders? Who told any of these people to run for office? All this stuff is all premeditated. It's all planned out before. It doesn't matter if you sit in that seat or Biden sits in that seat, because you're going to do what the House says. You're going to do what the Senate says. You're going to do what the powers that be want you to do.
It's definitely an unseen hand that's in control of things, that's running things.
It's the government.
And-
It's a corporation.
Nah,
But
it's
if
bigger
you-
than, I don't even, it's not
if
even
you
the
deaf,
government.
dumb, and blind, though, you're not gonna know what's going on.
Folks,
So
families.
it's this is why this is the real culture, because it's the real culture, man. We talk real stuff, man. So it's really going on, man.
But
and
you still got to
racism do
answer his
exist.
question. How's that going to help us?
Well,
How
see,
is that
me
going to help? How's that
personally,
going to help us?
me personally,
I don't think it's
I'm
gonna help us
I'm
at
an
all.
independent. I'm not a Democrat or a Republican.
Neither.
So
It's a game that I don't play in. I don't play in
I
that.
mean, because I know, like my brother Vic said, we can try to, vote and all this here, but if it's already fixed, then no, that's my opinion. What's already going to happen, period.
The electoral college, they're
So-
trying to get rid of the electoral college.
But
They're saying that's a scam.
4 more years of what they said.
It's
4
all a
more
scam.
years,
You get rid of the electoral college, it's still
and
gonna
the
be a scam.
masses think that, yeah, we finna get this and get that.
Yeah.
But all of them, when they coming out, because they tell you that, but then they only do like a third of
A small percentage.
break you off a little piece.
And give you a little money.
And but no, I mean I get
But what
it
do
though.
you do? Look. What do you do if you're an employer and your employees are going on strike? What do? Do you give in totally to you? No, you got to give them a little bit to keep them quiet. Okay, they want more money. Give them a little bit of money. They want more time off. Give them a little bit more paid leave.
Right.
You don't give them everything because you still need them, but you don't give them everything. So what's the stimulus?
Right.
What's food stamps? What's TANF and all those little things? That's just to keep. When the human is hungry, they're gonna result to violence. What are you gonna do? Somebody gonna knock you upside your head if you sitting there eating at a table and they don't have nothing. So they gotta give you a little bit of something, or people are gonna refrain to violence and stealing and murder, and especially in Texas and down south and things like that, because we have the right to bear arms. And why do we have the right to bear arms? He was talking about the Constitution. We have the right to bear arms to protect ourselves from who? The U.S. government, not from each other, from the U.S. government.
Why do you think they passed those laws though? When you really think, let's really scratch the surface.
There's
of that.
only one true law. It's the federal government. That's the one true law. State and things like that are just lower courts.
Well, you
We're,
really-
we're citizens of the United States government.
You know why they did
When
that,
I think
bro.
about it, I think about all the felons that's locked up already.
Yeah,
and
that's-
got one strike against him, a felon.
Yeah,
that he
just
can't
for
carry
having
no
a
gun.
gun, yeah.
So you put him in a situation, and if he got this gun and we pop him, oh, he a goner.
He's a goner.
Yeah.
So that's why everything is black market, and we're able to get a hold of that stuff because, I mean, I'm like this, man. I better safe than sorry.
Hey,
you know
man,
what I'm
you
saying?
better say I'd rather be caught with
But
it than without it.
because today's times, things that's going on in the world, you have to move a certain way. And, and I feel that they allowed us to pass those laws, for those reasons, to get us some of us out the way, and also for us to, black on black or whatever.
That I feel like that's just another way for them to legally do us harm, legally do us injustice, legally kill us.
Yeah, because
And I'm not
people
saying
that
that's
Like
the
not,
we
only
ain't,
thing.
we on the
People-
potato,
yeah.
right? That's the situation where you keep
Yeah,
in the
they
door
don't knock. They
because
don't
we know
knock
he may
that.
have a gun in here, or we gonna harass
Yeah.
him or something like this here.
Yeah, he's about
For those words.
she's living with a drug dealer. He might have drugs and a gun in there. He's violent. Let's go in there and see. And there was nothing going on. They're gonna try and use whatever they can to get us, and those are the laws, like you're saying. And it's not even about being a felon. You living here. You living here. You living here in Houston, man. You living here in Houston, so like an example of Benny the Butcher. He just got robbed a couple months ago. If you're doing nice, it's an economic pandemic. Everybody's just going through it. You're gonna have to have some type of protection.
The pandemic is life. Everybody now is looking for a scuba snack, man. So, it's already understood, man. You can't be out slipping, man, because if you slipping, you tripping.
This is the real culture, man, and this need to be said, man, because a lot of us, like I said, they don't know, man, and like I said, if you slip, and you're gonna be lost in the sauce, man. So we the real culture, man. We try to wake y'all up and give y'all our opinion on how it really go on in the world. And when you talk about that Camilla Harris thing, I've heard, my research, I've heard that she was a prosecutor and she was sending a lot of blacks.
That's
Oh,
definitely
wait.
not hearsay. That's
You know what I'm saying?
And,
So
and I'm gonna just get into it,
she
man.
got a lot of.
I don't know who used to skip school and who didn't, but she's a pusher on the truancy law. So if you skip school and your parents went to jail and you ever got any repercussions of that, she was a part of that. A part of it in California and then a part of it on a federal level. I did my research on it, and a woman had to go to jail because her child missed school because having sickle cell for some type of disease. My son has asthma. So that's like saying I would go to jail for my son missing school due to his asthma. And if a child has any type of illness, a parent has to cater to that illness. I understand there has to be rules and regulations in any time, but you should have looked at that specific case along with the other specific cases in them circumstances to see what was really going on. She just basically, oh man, they broke the rules, they going to jail. And then especially if they black, you know, she not gonna give no second chances. But at this point in time, presently, she is the vice president, Biden is the president. So let's see what they gonna do now in the present. That's just my view.
What are your high hopes for them? Please let me know what
Yeah,
your
what
high
are your,
hopes
what are
for.
your
'Cause
expectations?
Don't he sound like he inspired?
Yeah, you sound like you're very
You sound
inspired.
like he's
I
very
have very
inspired.
low expectations.
And I have none. Any.
Very low.
I don't have any. You got low?
Well,
Well, you got more than me because
It's
I don't
low.
have any.
It's low.
Any.
Oh, because they're gonna give us some type of treat. What do you? What,
They
like I
already,
said,
the money coming. He already, they
so
already
you
gonna get the
can,
money.
it's just like when people say, "Stop killing us."
So-
Black Lives Matter, and then they say, "Well, y'all kill each other all the time."
All the time.
So my
So it should be
question
like,
is,
"Oh, y'all keep locking black men up." Well, it's a black woman in office locking black people up.
And she the one helping, cause if you look at it when she lay down at night, who she going to sleep with? She going to sleep with a white man that's
Yeah, she
directing
gonna
the
sleep
whole
with the
play.
white man.
Come on, man, and she ain't from South Park.
You can't trust me. You can't. You
Where she
can't
from?
trust that
River
mentality.
Beverly Hills or somewhere?
It's somewhere
she
like
ain't
that.
From
So
South
my
Park,
question
you know what I'm
is-
saying?
I don't know where she
yeah,
from.
she
my
ain't
question
from-
is it 4 more years of Trump? I'm saying before they won the election, or should it be 4 more years of Camilla and Biden?
I personally
If we
would
can do
do
it
better
again.
when Republicans are in office because
Yeah, I'm like KD.
my business
He's
does
my son.
better.
Yeah,
My
exactly.
business does better because Democrats care about the elderly, which I do. My mother's elderly.
Yes.
Okay, of course I care about the elderly. They care about government programs, welfare, and all that stuff is just keeping us down. I don't care for Democrats at all because their program. I'm in the middle. I'm middle class, upper, lower, whatever. Middle class. Middle class doesn't
Right.
benefit from anything. Most of us are probably middle class or lower class. And so, how are we going to benefit from Democratic leadership? I'm not welfare, government programs. Okay, we're not elderly yet. And then for us, our age group, we're probably not even going to see Social Security. They predicted that years ago that it was going to go out 54. We'll be like, what, in our 40s, 50s? We're not even going to be eligible for Social Security. So I was like, where are we benefiting from? I might as well get my money now. I might as well make my money now because I can't depend on them. I can't depend on the government. I can't depend on Social Security. I can't depend on my retirement.
And that's going back to
I
what
can't
you
even look. I can't even depend on my man because I got to be worried. I can't depend on my sons to take care of me because they're getting killed, they're getting murdered, they're getting put in jail. What can I depend on as a black woman? She ain't doing anything for us. Biden's not doing anything for us. It's like I said, they're all tools. They're gonna fund. They're going to do what they're told to do. They're not gonna put all this. Let's go back and see when they were running. Let's compare what he said he was going to do for the people. And we're not even getting into the fact that minorities aren't even black people anymore. It's everybody now, unless you're if you're not a white man, you're a minority. Everybody's a minority. So what about our issues? What about our fights? They're diminished.
Yeah, they've been erased because you creating all these other groups. They create all these other groups and factions, and they forget about black people.
Forget about it.
And
So they're not going to do anything for us.
They
They're not gonna do
ain't
anything for us.
forgot
Name
about
one
it.
thing
It's
that
black
anybody
people
did.
making. It's black people sitting right there while they're making the laws. They ain't forgot about it. What it is they're not gonna help. It's a MO. What
They
they
don't
call a
care.
memo? It's a memo to Black America. If you're looking for a government handout, stay strong, cause you are a wine dinner. If you think that they gonna actually go on Capitol Hill and have a discussion about
Wait a minute.
us,
It's in the Constitution that we were supposed to get 40
So you mean-
acres and a mule.
Exactly.
Right?
you mean
And we
they
We
ain't
ain't
got
never
that.
got
So
that.
you mean America don't have no answers? Right
the
now?
America ain't got no answers because didn't the Jews get broke off for the Holocaust?
But what about-
everybody
Some
else?
broke off.
But what
Everybody
about-
else got broke off and
But
said,
what
"What
about
about
the
the
Obama
Indians?"
But what
paid
about
big
them-
money.
Hey.
Big money for those
But
survivors.
what about them stimulus checks? I'm gonna get a stimulus, right?
Man, I ain't gonna lie to you. I ain't getting no stimulus,
For
man.
300-400 years of
but I mean,
slavery.
And the sad
stimulus?
part is the men
yeah,
that
I need a
owe
stimulus every day.
the men that owe child support didn't even see that money.
Hey,
I'm telling you.
But if you was on child support, then
You didn't even see
you
that
out of
money.
there.
Exactly,
you
because
shouldn't do what
they
you had to
swapping
do.
that. They swapping that like somebody at Walmart. Cha-ching. It's
Hey.
gone.
y'all tuned in to the
We
real
definitely
culture.
need to get a topic about child
And
support in Texas.
yeah, y'all tuned into the real culture, man. This is a real discussion, man. Need to be heard, but we'll come back after the break.
What you know about Sunday? MLK, slab riding all day. Blue line over gray, red line on the K. Orange line so sick, about opposite, looking thick. Foes turning trunk split. Chrome grill and bumper kit. Welcome to that H, baby. Pouring up, sipping daily. R.I.P. Pimp C. Screw mode, BAT. Big Hawk, Mr. G. Reppin' for all the legends. Summertime that drop naked. Swing mode, I drive reckless. Yellow bones keep it sexy.
Welcome back to The Real Culture, and you know, this is the Texas tea, where we sip and don't trip.
Amen.
What's going on, y'all?
Oh, it's all good. Well, ladies, let's get into it, man. My boy Tristan Wiles, he just got married.
Yeah.
You know,
See that.
Laura Nicole, she was telling me about the wedding. So how was the wedding?
The wedding was very small. They did it over Zoom with their parents. So, you know, they just tied the knot December 17th of last year. I mean, that's nice. Over Zoom, very small.
Marry?
Huh?
Who did he marry?
Who did he marry? This beautiful young high school girl of his.
That was his, like,
they
high
was
school
like,
Yes,
yeah,
she's
high
already.
school lovers.
Oh,
You know, they known
man.
each other for a
That's
very
what's up,
long
man.
time.
He
That's good.
came
Since he was 15 years old.
That's what I'm about to say. He been acting, I know, since The Wire, since he was young. And
Okay, so he kept it with her.
yeah,
Kept it with
the
her.
new 90210. Then he got the break. So, you know, I always been a fan of him. You know, just watching him. Like I said, like I feel like he was like kind of like he's not the next Michael B. Jordan, but in the Wire you can see his talent. So, you know, my thing is, what are the ladies really looking for? Are they looking for like a clean cut guy like Tristan Wiles? Or you looking for like a little Boosie, like a Kodak Black? You know,
I think
somebody with
everybody
tattoos.
has their own
Yep.
opinion, you know, and what they want, and really just somebody that worked hard, you know. And I prefer the clean cut. So
But when it comes down to that, you really can't judge a book by its cover.
true.
You know, because a lot of times you can be clean cut, but yet have this aggressive, abusive side.
Very
but
true.
you come across a guy with tattoos all his body and kind of like a little bit edgy and stuff, but have the sweetest soul.
Yep.
So you really just can't go off the looks. I'm just being straight
Everybody
up. You
is
can't go off the
different.
looks. So try the inner man. Test out the inner
Right.
man. If the inner man ain't right, keep it moving.
Hey.
So it's basically what you're saying, what you ladies are saying is like, for lack of a better word, different strokes for different folks.
Exactly.
Very much true.
Okay, I can dig it.
Very
I can
much
dig it.
true.
No,
Exactly.
and I understand that. You know, whatever floats your boat. So, going back to my boy Michael B. Jordan, he just bagged him a little baddie, Lori Harvey.
Right.
You know, so is this just a fling, or you think this gonna last, or what?
I mean, I'm still waiting to see.
Yeah,
I mean,
it's a new relationship. I'm gonna
Yes.
just go ahead and say a relationship. You know, it's a new thing. They getting to know each other. So if it looks kind of off, you know, you gotta give things a chance.
time,
You know,
yeah.
to grow, and you know maybe they can become more attached to one another in a way that people can see. Okay, they really actually
Well,
connecting.
You know, she's a young woman, and you know her exploits have been all in the public. You know,
I'm sure it won't take long for us to
But the
find
thing
out.
about
Oh,
that
no
though,
doubt, no doubt.
her
No doubt.
exes were more edgy than Michael B. Jordan.
Michael
This is
B.
a
Jordan.
new
Ain't
Ain't
little
no telling
look
what
for
she
her.
went through though, so she might be switching it up a little bit.
Yeah.
She trying to change her ways.
Yeah.
She been going after a certain guy, but you know, I think
She
we
like,
all
I
agree Michael
don't
B. Jordan
know.
is a nice guy.
Yeah.
and that's what
So
I'm
you know,
saying.
she might change. Might need
She
to
her
change the
style
timbre.
Thinking outside the box sometimes. You gotta think outside the box.
Yeah, but just don't switch up too bad, cause I've been in a few situations and you know they try to switch it up. Sometimes it ain't as good as you think it is.
Right,
But I mean,
very
so you
true,
got to be
but-
careful about the old switch up.
It's something fresh for her, so we'll see. I mean, social media won't let us fail.
So
They're gonna show us.
But do you believe it's a publicity stunt? Do you believe that?
Well, actually, I think that she sees stability in him.
Yes.
Because of his career and her father's career. By them both doing TV, she knows that he can be a little bit more stable, and it seems like over the weeks he's a lot kinder than some of her
Yes.
past boyfriends. So if you can get that same amount of money, but you can get more love and respect, you know what I mean?
Yes.
Then I feel like it can last. It looks like it's kind of genuine.
Man, she just getting introduced, man. That's
Yeah,
all it
right?
is.
We
That's
need
all
some
it is,
time.
man. Now, that's all it is, man. You know, and when you deal with women, it's so many different types of men. So it's just like you're saying, what she got to taste is, it's like when you go from me, I'm a connoisseur of, the liquor. when you drink certain liquors, you know, you cool. The vodkas, the cheap liquors. But then when you get to certain that Remy and you know, that good stuff.
That strong
and, yeah,
stuff.
that's that good.
Right.
You like, okay, so this is why this is this spice. So that's what she's learning. She's getting a first class education on what a real
Yes.
man is supposed to be. That's why she's switching it up.
And I feel like she's young, you know, she's able to date who she want, you know.
Yep,
I
very
feel like
beautiful.
she should, you know, date, you know, instead of just completely settling
Yes.
down with anybody because she's of that age to, you know.
And we don't know
Options.
we don't
You
know
gotta
what her
explore your
father
options.
said
You have to
either.
explore your options.
Exactly.
We don't know what her father is saying to her either, you know.
Shit, he said, I know what he's saying.
Yeah.
Shit, baby, you better get the bag. Baby,
Get
get
the
the
bag.
bag.
I
Get
know.
the bag, get the bag, get the
If
bag.
you're gonna have a baby by anybody,
Yeah.
this gonna be the one.
This is the one.
Yeah.
This is
Yeah.
the one.
You
We
know.
made it.
So time will tell.
We
I'm
made it.
anxious to see how it goes, you know.
So my real question is, and the reason I asked this is because one of my homeboys, man, he 59 and he just started dating this lady. She's like 46, 47, and I'm like, man, he's still getting it in, and you know, like, man, they so in love. It's like they in the 9th grade.
Oh, wow.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
They can't keep their hands off each other. They can't stop talking.
That's
to
too
each
much
It's
other.
fresh.
information, man. You
It's
got a nigga
fresh.
busy lying there like, come on, that's too much information, man.
So what I'm
Come on,
saying,
man.
what I'm trying to ask the ladies is, when is it too late to find love, or can you always be finding love?
Oh, you
or
can
should
always find
be
love.
looking
It's
for
never
love?
too late. Never too late.
I feel like love, you know, you can be loved any given age, you know.
Yes.
You can be 60 years old to 90 years old and like
Right.
you still got her groove
Love
still
is
going
always
on.
out
So
there as long as you're out
gotta
there.
keep it going.
Looking. Yeah. It's never too late.
I'm gonna tell you this here, man. If you get past a certain age, man,
Oh Lord.
you got to hang them up, baby. You got to
Like, when
hang
it
them
comes to
up.
having
Because if you
kids,
70,
yeah,
if you
right.
se-
Oh,
if you 70 years old and you on meet.com or christiansingle.com, you
Right.
need to cut it, man. Because it ain't worked out. You had 60 years to get something. You had 60 years.
Yeah, true.
Hey, man, it don't work for you. A lot of you gotta understand, it ain't working. Just leave it alone.
you know, old women still getting their cut, especially if they look good.
They
you
getting
know?
their cut, but I mean, you know, at the end of the night.
Are they
like-
still doing anything?
Exactly. The plumbing might not even work. I'm just saying. So you don't even know if the plumbing still
Right.
work. You know what I'm saying? We talking about that feeling. So now ain't no feeling down there. They need to
Oh
at
my
a certain
gosh.
age, just like they take your driver's license, they should take your relationship license.
But what about men
Oh,
when
wow.
they take Viagra?
Right?
I mean,
Yeah, what's the difference?
we just trying to stay strong through it all. You
Oh
hear me?
my God.
With all this stress and all this pressure out here, and you got to do something because sometimes you got to see what people don't understand is with all these vices that's against us and everything you got going on, man, you need some help.
But stuff,
You need some help.
when you
But
talking about Viagra and plumbing, you already know that a woman, she's gonna get it in more than a
Exactly.
man.
That's
in his
agreeable.
lifetime.
Because she ain't got to worry about getting it up.
So
We ain't gotta do all that.
yeah, that's what I'm saying. So,
Yeah.
so at the end, at your last little couple years, that man, he trying to catch up with the women.
Man, at the
So
last
that-
time
I
the
mean,
end,
the
the
men
man,
dry, the women
the
keep
man
going.
is no
do
longer
get dry
working.
though. The women do get dry.
But the man, he
Because
too.
it's not good.
Man, they
though.
got the
That's the
squirt.
reason why.
Yeah, maybe that's what
Well,
it is.
what's the stuff they put in
The lubricant.
Yeah, so but ain't no lubricant for that. You got to-
And that's what I'm saying.
you- I
Going
need
back
some help.
to, and that's the reason I asked the question, because my female crush is Regina Bell.
Okay,
You know
old
what I'm
school.
saying?
Okay.
Yeah, man. I believe that's a
You trying to get that?
nah. Yeah.
Yeah, nah, he retired. He back there. Yeah, back in the game. Nah.
Nah, and that's what I'm saying. Nah, and that's what I'm saying. I'm trying to make sure I'm saying the name right, because it's Regina King and then it's Regina Bell.
It's Regina Bell, the
Yeah.
singer.
Nah,
Are
Regina
you
Bell, the
Regina
actress.
King? Yeah, it's Regina
Um,
King.
She like 50. She just turned 50. She's
Okay.
still fine.
Yeah, she is. She's
And
still
she had did a little freestyle. She was talking about, and I still got some good. You know what I'm talking
Okay.
about?
I mean,
so,
it's nice and tender.
hey, so
Right.
I was
It's
like,
seasoned
at
to
50.
perfection.
So you know, women don't age as quick as men.
So and
That's
what I'm
debatable,
saying.
man, because I ain't gonna lie. I got some homegirl, they 35 and look like they might be 53.
Oh,
Come on, man. You done
Oh,
seen them
man.
before. We like, how old are you?
Everybody's
And we went to school
It's
together.
a hard knock.
Like, I'm telling you,
I
because
guess it just
I
matter if you
mean,
ran through or not, I guess.
Exactly.
Oh wow.
that is true. Because a lot of people know a lot of football teams. Am I in here? And
Right.
the basketball.
Oh wow.
And if you habla Espanol, let's say it.
Who go?
Oh my God.
Football, yeah, I
Who
do
go
know it.
football?
Yeah, football, yeah, it's all good.
Teresa?
Yeah, exactly. So I ain't never know. It ain't, you know, a man, he gonna come up short and gonna come up with an excuse immediately. man, you know, I got all this on my mind and all this here,
Right.
man. So, you know, we need a little help, man.
But you know, women
It's
is
all
stepping
right.
up their game now.
Yeah, we
so.
are. We are.
Nah, it's a lot of beautiful women that's, 50 something plus. J Lo, Angela
They're staying
Bassett,
active though.
Halle Berry.
Yeah, Halle Berry,
It's a
man.
lot
I'm
of
trying to be like them when I get their age.
and I ain't Ashanti, she not 50, but she 40, and I
She
seen on
bad.
their verses last night, and she was, oh my goodness,
Yeah.
Am I in here?
like a jalapeno pepper.
Am I
watched
in
that
here,
too.
man?
I watched that too.
What they say, Moody Kelly anything?
So who you think won?
They both disappointed me
Well,
Keisha
why?
Cole
Hold on, wait
came
a minute.
because they.
I don't want to even know about Keisha Cole right now. I want to know why Ashanti disappointed you.
I don't know if it was the sound or what. They just both seemed a little off. Maybe I don't know.
She
Maybe it was
couldn't
my
lip sync good
phone
enough?
or what. I was watching it on their
Oh,
live.
you probably
Bro,
could
now
lip
you
sync.
already know that Keisha Cole is the better singer.
But I like Keisha
Yeah.
Cole.
No
But
doubt.
it just
Yeah,
seemed
everybody-
a little off.
But I'm just trying to figure out why my co-host was disappointed in a way.
I was just
then.
disappointed.
She got her
I didn't-
opinion.
Like I just didn't.
That's
hear
why I
it.
know. I want to hear it. That's
With
what I'm
both
trying
of
to
them,
figure out.
it just their voices were off. I mean, they're a little older now too,
Yeah.
so that's probably just a little
So
bit.
she
of
was
it.
actually,
The agent.
she was young.
It's just the
Yeah,
agent.
it
you
didn't
could tell,
don't age well,
that's
huh?
all.
That voice didn't age too well. It was never really good, but it really ain't
But
good
I was
now.
rooting for Keisha Cole as well.
You was rooting for Keisha Cole?
Yeah.
Well, I knew that Ashanti had a longer career, so I feel like she would win, and she's, very pretty. I ain't seen Keisha Cole in a while, so I was, like, oh my goodness,
Yeah.
It's not that far, like, oh man, Ashanti is so much better. Nah, it's not that much of a gap. Cause she still got some fair skin and some beautiful
Yeah, they
lips.
both look good.
Well, I think it's
yeah.
just her. I think what it is about Keisha Cole, it's her assets.
It's a lot. They
Yeah,
there.
that's really that.
Yeah.
I mean, cause I ain't gonna lie to you.
T&A.
Yeah, cause
They
she
talk about,
lied.
yeah.
But oh man, old girl, they got the bang in the trunk, man. So that's
Oh, my
why
God.
you gonna. I mean, it's just like
Look at. Are you listening?
no. But, hey, listen, if we gonna be real and go off talent,
I ain't
we
have to
done won exactly. Cause I know you can't sing, so all I really want to see is who
the
got
body.
the best outfit, so I can see that
Right.
body.
That's
I
it.
want to see who
'Cause,
is the hottie with all the
Y'all
body.
hear
know
that? That's a
Keisha-
man talking.
We know
That's
Keisha
just
Cole,
him.
she gonna make the whole church fall out.
Oh Lord.
Yeah.
I'm trying to tell you. I know
Praise.
Keisha Cole make the
Okay.
whole, she'll make the whole church fall out.
Only thing, when men hear Keisha Cole, they get all they valuables. It's like when you hear Debo. Bro, Debo come.
Right?
Yeah, exactly. Put everything
She
up.
got that voice
yeah.
though.
Yeah.
She got that
Yeah,
powerful
and
voice.
it's, like Ashanti, I listen to it and her words, like she's a little bit more street, and as far as like more choppy on some like rap lyrics, going down on a Mary J. Blige type of path. But Keisha Cole's, she's more of like a Monica. She can sing them ballads. She even
Yes.
got a little Toni Braxton to her, to where she can tell a story with her songs.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And you can put
More
like a
soul.
little, it's
She got
more
more soul in
soulful.
her.
You can put them beats like some the song she did with Missy Elliott and Lil Kim. You can put a little live beat behind Keisha Cole, and then you got your little club mix like Monica did with the So Gone.
Yeah.
She got that type of feel. So
Kind of like a mixture.
yeah, she got a mixture.
She's
I feel like she's
versatile.
more versatile than
Yes.
Ashanti. Since Ashanti, she's more of a writer, and she got that
Yeah,
little
she just
look.
kinda sound-
yeah,
all
she
her
can
stuff
just
sound the same.
Yeah.
Yeah, everything. Happy, what was it? Happy, sad,
Yeah,
mad, and
all
glad. I think that was her 4-5 hit song was her emotion. I was like, what am I listening to? Am I at a psychiatrist or what? Because I mean, all these feeling songs.
Oh
man.
my God.
I'm talking about every song
she's
with a
in her
feeling.
feelings. You gotta let her be in her feelings. That's
I'm
how
not
she
gonna lie
put-
to you.
Right.
Put out her music.
It's just her music all
She's in
sound the
feelings.
same. Keisha Cole, she's very versatile in her music.
Yeah, I just want to see her in a movie. Coach Carter. Sometime.
Coach Carter,
Yeah.
Yeah, I need to see her in any film. Matter of fact, she can play in the Pam Grier biography. Put on some of that,
Oh,
because
Keisha
you're
Cole?
Keisha Cole. No,
No,
actually
Ashanti.
Ashanti. Yeah,
Ashanti.
Ashanti. They can, y'all, act models and what I'm
Yeah.
saying, so they can hit it with the body spray, darken her up, and
Yeah.
and make her come on
Make her
in,
look-
because she is a hottie.
You think she can
with
act?
a lot of body. She
I don't think
she
she
been
can
acting like
sing.
she can sing all this time, so why not give her a try?
Like
Oh,
She
okay.
Yeah.
played
am I
with
here?
Coach Carter, so I mean, she did
Yeah.
pretty good for that role. But
Yeah, that was a
actually
smaller
going
role.
hard as a real good actress, I feel
I
like
don't
she
know.
has a lot more work to,
Yeah.
get to that point.
I figure when they put them filters on and get her right,
She can be good.
Because how many years did she fool us behind the mic?
For so long.
Okay, come on. Yeah, well, I don't think she was that foolish, but I'm saying when she got behind the mic, how long did it was it before she was doing
Everybody
it before
was
you
talking
realized
about it. Like,
yeah.
oh man, she can't sing.
Yeah, that was all it, but guess what they were still doing? Going up there, because at the time we couldn't get it on the internet. Swiping that card.
Yeah.
You were swiping that card or paying that dinero.
Yeah, nah, she definitely made more money in her career than Keisha Cole, but I just feel like even though Keisha Cole was late, she still won just because she was. I heard her hitting some of the notes, but it seemed like she got a little drunk or something.
Oh, she probably had a little
both
something in
seemed
her
a little
cup,
off
man.
to me, that's all.
You know, she probably had a little something in her cup. It ain't. That ain't.
So they got the art, well, you know, sneak this and throwing a little shade because Keisha Cole started last or whatever they was back and forth.
Well,
Yeah,
we want to thank you guys for coming through and sipping a little tea with us. We'll catch you next Friday. And this is The Real Culture.
Make sure you like, subscribe, share, and this is The Real Culture.
She give me that.
What it do? AD. Wow, wow.
Wow, wow, baby. Hey. What they gon' say? I'm a ballin' parlay. I'm apple over silver with the insides gray. Swinging through the fourth ward, riding down gray. If money is the destination, I am on the way. No matter the time of day, I'm always getting paid. Head turn the block burner, nah, I don't play. Catch a play, catch a fade, Glock throw away. Turning heads, daily move, bitch, get out the way and give me room, cause I'm coming through, baby, what it do? AD in that ocean blue, sipping on the coupe, sideways, and I'm looking good, gotta keep it true. Getting money till I'm in the grave, it ain't nothing new. This one for the slab rider, swing wide, pop trunk. This one for the slab rider, swing wide, pop trunk. Yeah, you know what I'm talking about? It's Power Wow, and I'm still breaking boys off, you know what I'm saying?
What they gon' say? All in no way.